Hello everyone, hopefully you are all going well. Today I'll talk about sonnet number 116 by William Shakespeare. So, without any further delay, let's jump into our topic. Shakespeare's sonnets are composed of 14 lines and they are divided into 3 quatrains and a final concluding couplet. The rhyme scheme is AB AB, CD CD, EF EF, GG. This sonnet form and rhyme scheme is known as the English sonnet. Now, I'll read the poem and explain the meaning so that you won't have any problem in understanding the poetry. So, sonnet number 116. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose words unknown, although his hide be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the age of doom. If this be error, and upon me proved, I never read, nor no man ever loved. So this was the poem, and now I'll be explaining the meaning of each single quatrain and the final couplet. The first quatrain I read again. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. So Shakespeare says that he will not allow or accept any impediment in the unition of two true minds. We should note here that Shakespeare is not talking about the unition of two bodies. Rather, he is talking about two minds. Hence, the love that he is vindicating over here is platonic. So the poet says, let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. So a very flat summary of the first quatrain would be like, Shakespeare is trying to say that he will not declare any impediment, or he would not declare any reason why two true-minded people should not be married. He says, love is not love which changes when it finds a change in circumstances, or bends from its firm stand even when a lover is unfaithful. So in the first quatrain, or through the lines of the first quatrain, the poet says that there cannot be any obstacle in the union of minds of the true lovers. Marriage here is signifying union, friendship, and understanding. It is the marriage of two minds. In other words, this marriage of two true minds is true love, and this true love never changes with the passage of time and circumstances. That love is not true love, which changes when it finds an opportunity. True love, or the spiritual love, does not submit to the power of its annihilator. It always remains permanent. So this was the meaning of the first quatrain. Next, the second quatrain. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is a star to every wandering bark, whose words unknown, although his height be taken. So Shakespeare says that love or true love is like a lighthouse that sees storms but is never shaken. He also goes on to say that love is the guiding north star to every lost ship, whose value cannot be calculated, although its altitude can be measured. So in this quatrain, the poet asserts that true love is constant and firm like the pole star. He goes on to compare true love to a lighthouse and the pole star. The lighthouse is constant. It faces storms in the sea, but is never shaken. In the same way, true love is not shaken by the difficulties and problems of life. The pole star serves as an infallible guide to the ships in the tempestuous oceans. True love also guides lovers in life. Although the depth of true love can never be completely acknowledged, it can be felt at heart. The pole star and ideal love are both beyond human estimation. That means they cannot be measured. They are too deep to be measured. So this was the meaning of the second quatrain. Then comes the third quatrain. He says, or rather he writes, love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the age of doom. One thing that we should note over here, that at the very beginning of the third quatrain, Shakespeare is clearly showing his intention of defying the power of time. We know that Shakespeare was very much occupied with the idea of time, and since time is invincible, nothing can defy time, Shakespeare has tried through his poetry to overpower time. So that has been clearly conceptualized in this third quatrain. So what Shakespeare wants to convey over here is that love is not at the mercy of time, though physical beauty comes within the compass of his sickle. That means physical beauty can be destroyed by time, but not true love. Love does not alter with hours and weeks, but rather it endures until the last day of life. So, in this quatrain, the poet says that true love is not time's slave. It does not change with the passage of time. Since time is a universal destroyer, it can destroy everything. It can cut down the physical beauty of a person, but true love does not come in the range of time's scythe. Time has no effect on true lovers. We should note here that time has been personified as a farmer harvesting the crops with a sickle. So that is a very important metaphor over here. In other words, physical beauty is temporary, seasonal, and mortal, but true love is constant and immortal. It stands still even to the dreadful day of judgment. The poet strongly affirms the steadfast nature of true love. Then comes the final concluding couplet. Shakespeare writes, "If this be error and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved." So this final concluding couplet shows uh, how proud Shakespeare himself was. He believes that whatever he has written is universally true. That is why he writes, "If this be error and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved." That means he is saying, if I am proven wrong about these thoughts on love, then I recant all that I have written, and no man has ever truly loved. So in the couplet, the poet makes a claim. In this couplet, William Shakespeare is making a claim. He says that if anybody can prove him wrong in his assessment of true love, he will admit that he is not a poet, nor has anybody loved in this world. These lines show the perpetuity and eternity of perfect love. So, this was the discussion of today. Hopefully, you will understand this poetry, and in my description box, I'll definitely paste the entire poem. And if you have any queries, feel free to ask your questions in the comment box, and also feel free to share your opinions. Thank you.